September is a special month for all The Last of Us fans. It was on the 26th that the same epidemic of cordyceps cerebral infection began, due to which the world plunged into a post-apocalypse. In this video, we've pulled together all the information about the show and why The Last of Us is potentially the biggest hoax of 2023. Thank you for subscribing to the RTV Gaming channel so as not to miss new videos, and we are starting. In 2003, the world was struck by a monstrous fungal infection. Through the respiratory tract, spores entered people and began to grow, turning the carriers into something between a zombie and a mutant. The further the infection went, the more the body and habits changed. Small groups of survivors settled in cities and villages, somehow cleared the territory of spores and started life anew. At the same time, monsters and mushrooms have not gone away. You could be infected through a bite or air, so most of the infrastructure and settlements had to be bypassed or made short sorties in gas masks. The surviving scientists unsuccessfully tried to find a vaccine, and civilization rolled back in development so much that cannibalism and archery skirmishes became commonplace. The main character, Joel, is a 50-year-old man who trades in smuggling. He is one of the few who dare to go to the most remote and dangerous places for medicines, weapons and other household items. Since the beginning of the epidemic, the hero managed to lose his daughter and, in general, did not value his life too much. One day, Joel is offered an unusual contract, to secretly lead a girl named Ellie through the cordons of the military and bandits. During the sortie, the final destination turns out to be much further than expected. An elderly smuggler and a teenager have been walking across the country for almost a year. The plot seems banal, but all its beauty is in the details. Game designer and screenwriter Neil Druckmann focused not on infection and monsters, but on people. The game explored the psychology of humanity on the verge of extinction and individuals trying to survive in hostile conditions. It turned out so frighteningly believable that the project instantly became a living classic. For the first time, a possible film adaptation was discussed in March 2020. At that time, few people knew what to expect, but now we have a trailer and numerous photos from the set. Joel will be played by Pedro Pascal. The Game of Thrones and The Mandalorian star is no stranger to stories involving a grown man and a child. Despite the fact that Pedro, in his own words, never bothered to launch The Last of Us, the trailer proved that the actor looks great in character. Bella Ramsey plays Ellie. Unfortunately, the girl bears little resemblance to the original prototype. Many fans are infuriated by this cast, but we think it's better to judge the acting. It is worth saying a few words about the visual style and general impressions of the trailer. We were shown several locations that partially overlap with the game. The series looks really cool, muted colors, a lot of small details from the original and almost verbatim reproduction of some of the dialogue. Even Joel's watch, his daughter's latest gift, is meticulously recreated. In one of the interviews, the creators confirmed that the events of the first season will reproduce the events of the game, but it is not entirely clear or not. However, we have an adaptation in front of us, so a number of scenes will appear that were not in the original source, and familiar moments may change. But the time jump was confirmed. In the series, the main events take place in 2023, and not in 2013. Apparently, the creators decided to hype on the general panic from the COVID-19 pandemic. It's too early to talk about the atmosphere. Only the general mood can be felt from the 2-minute trailer. And it fits the game perfectly. But what's wrong with the series? There are a number of reasons why The Last of Us is far from being the most anticipated series of the year. Let's express an unpopular opinion, but the whole project is nothing more than a financial dummy. Everything that the show can offer viewers is already shown in the game, and it looks no worse, and perhaps even better. More recently, a remake was released, offering fans a third time to buy the same game with slightly cooler graphics. There is a feeling that the series is attempt number 4. Neil Druckmann and showrunners' assurances of story expansion sound strange. If something was cut from the game, and the final result was not affected, then it was insignificant. Actors, for the most part, are very similar to game characters, but it is not clear why you should look at them if there is a source. The project is too new to get excited about how accurately Pedro Pascal reproduces the words of Joel. Familiar locations look good, but their original appearance can be easily seen in the game. Even the almost complete absence of computer graphics does not change anything. In The Last of Us, the infected are so detailed that if the creators of their models were inserted into the series, the difference would be imperceptible. It turns out that the main question that should be asked is why watch it? How is the app for the game? How incredible and original piece? The answer to everything is no. After the first trailer, it became clear that the plot will repeat the game plus or minus, which means that the main idea will not change, the defining events will remain, and the characters will retain familiar characters. Before us is a high-quality copy, which will be damn difficult to compete with the original.